Hey everyone, how's it going? Tekno Tiger here, and I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be bringing you guys another Warframe guide, and this time it's going to be on Bounties, the system newly implemented in the Plains of Eidolon. This system allows you and a few friends to join into the Plains of Eidolon with a common goal. So in this guide I'll be telling you guys everything you need to know about Bounties, a few of the different mission rewards, and I'll go through and explain all the different mission types in the Bounties. And I'll give you some tips on how I think it's easiest to complete them. So now, without further ado, let's jump into the guide. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the beautiful town of Kindest, and so I am here to tell you guys exactly how the usual progression is to talk to Kanzu to begin the bounties. Now this is mainly going to be for all of our newer Tenno here, but there is a couple prerequisites that you're going to need before you talk to Kanzu about bounties. So, the first thing is you're going to need to finish the very first quest line, which is named Vor's Prize. It's not that long of a quest line, so once you're done with that, you're also going to want to make sure that you are Mastery Rank 1. So once those two things are complete, you should be prompted and told that there's another quest line available in your codex. You should check it out, and it should say Saya's Vigil. Once you fly down here to Kindest, you'll talk to Kanzu and take up bounty, whichever one that you want, and as you're completing it, you should be told that you are starting Saya's Vigil. So that's how you start the Saya's Vigil questline. And that's not required to do bounties, but I would highly recommend it, especially for our newer players, as that's how you get the blueprint for Gara, the newest Warframe in Warframe. They just came out with her. And that's why I would recommend it, because she's actually really fun. And if you don't know how to play her, or if you just want to see what it's like to play her, I do actually have a couple guides on my channel for her, and she's really fun, like I said, so that's why I would recommend it. You don't have to though, you can just jump straight into the bounties, and so that's what we'll do now, and I'll go over the layout there so you guys can understand all of the possible rewards. So now that we go over here, and after you're done with the quest, Saya will stand next to Kanzu here. And Kanzu, along with telling you your current Ostran standing and where you are with that faction, you can go over here and more importantly look at the bounties. So I'm going to go over the overlay, like I said, this little layout, so you can see and easily distinguish what's going on here, because there's a lot of information here. So at the top you'll see bounties with a little timer under it, and this timer is a 2-hour countdown timer. Now this indicates the current day and night cycle of all of the planes. It actually correlates perfectly. So the first hour and I think 10 minutes is the day cycle, and the last 50 minutes is the night cycle. So if you notice it's nighttime, then you only have a little bit left until the cycle rotates. And then if it's daytime, you know you have quite a bit of time until the cycle is going to rotate and change over again. And I'll get further into what I mean by cycles. So these are in a tiered system, going from easiest to most difficult. And so we have tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this tier does correlate with difficulty, so as you can see on the right side, the enemies are 5 to 15 for the first, 20 to 40 for the third, and for the 5th tier they are 40 to 60, being the most difficult. Now along with these tiers, the rewards are also tiered. So the Ostran standing will go up, as well as there are different possible mission rewards. So the Ostran standing here is 600 with a maximum of 3,000, give or take a couple hundred, and all of the possible rewards will change. Now, they're definitely going to change a lot, so this is what I meant by cycle, and so now I'll go over that here. If there is an item that you see, take for example Gara's Neuroptics, that you really want, and you know you need it, or you really just want to farm it and have it for maybe now or later, then I would recommend going through and trying to do the mission as many times as possible to get that, because although you can only do the mission once and claim the Ostran standing reward once, you can do the mission as many times as you want during the cycle and continually get possible rewards at the end. So that's what I meant by farming and doing it over and over again to possibly get the blueprint, because every cycle, like I was saying, every 2-hour cycle will reset the possible possible rewards that you can get down here. It'll slightly change the Ostran standing reward, but more importantly, it'll swap out a few of these different rewards on the side here. So maybe For example, the Gara Neuroptics will change over to the Gara systems, and the Gara Neuroptics might not be available on any other of these reward panels. And so that's why you don't know what the reward is going to be next cycle. So if there, like I said, there's something that you really want or need, go after it then and try to get it then if it's something that you really desire. So that's just my recommendation for getting possible rewards. So I hope you guys understand this. This is a tiered system, like I said, going over quickly. Top is easiest, bottom is most difficult. Bottom should reward items more appealing to more veteran players, and the top easiest ones should give you guys more stuff appealing to newer players. At least that's what they're trying to implement right now with all of the more recent hotfixes. And so one last tip for this is, usually people are okay with doing the first 2 or first 3 and not having too much of a problem, especially newer players, but they're kind of intimidated by the level 4 and level 5. And I would still recommend them going out and trying the level 4 and level 5, because sometimes you get really easy missions or you get paired up with really good players and they can kind of show you the ropes if they are nicer players. And I found it to be a really good combination of experienced players teaching newer players, and newer players kind of needing help, so the more veteran players can step it up and really have a lot of fun carrying more or less the newer players. At least I like that interaction there, and that's what I've seen so far. And the community seems to be really nice and really helpful. So like I said, at least give it a try. If you have a bad experience, what's the worst that can happen? You have a bad experience and you just don't do those missions until you get a little more powerful, or until you have a friend or join a clan. So that's just something I found in my experience, and I hope that helps you out, especially newer players. So that is about all the tips that I have for you here as far as bounties and bounty rewards are concerned. Now we're going to head over, I'm going to show you guys all the different mission types so you know what to expect, and I'm going to give you a few tips on different warframes and what I think is most effective in those situations. Here we are getting towards the end of the video. Thanks if you guys happen to make it this far. Now I am going to get into a few tips, like I said, as far as weapons and warframes go, for the best combinations for mission types, and I will go through all of the mission types here. 3 of them you have seen before: eliminate, rescue, and capture. They're the same in and out of the plains, so no new surprises there. Now before I jump into the list, I want to let you guys know that the Warframe Mesa is pretty dominant in the plains right now. She just seems to wipe out all these missions and do extremely well in every case I've seen her. So here they are on the screen. These are all the different mission types, and I'll go through them briefly and give you guys a few tips on what I've seen have worked well in my experience and in my groups. So we're going to skip over exterminate. You know what that is. The second one is drone hijack. This one's pretty self-explanatory. You hack a drone and you're supposed to help it on its way to a point. So you're going to want a few CC warframes here that work well. Vauban works well, Nidus, Harrow, all these different CCs. If you can keep up the different snowballs for Frost, he works well here, or if you're able to just use Avalanche as a CC, that works well as well. And for the next one, cache recovery, you're going to want faster warframes here, and you're going to also want to be able to use your codex scanner. If you can use your scanner, you can see these 3 different caches you have to recover within the time frame quicker, and if you're using a fast warframe, that also helps. The next one is supply sabotage. Here you're going to kill enemies and get their supply beacons and kill 3 supply drops. Here you're going to want something that can kill enemies fast, because they all do land at the same time. So like I said, Mesa would be pretty dominant here, or something that can group up enemies. So Nidus would be great here. And so next one is liberation. This one is similar to a defense mission in that you are going to be just defending a certain camp spot. So Frost with his snow globe here, strong snow globes, work extremely well here, and they're pretty fun. Mesa is really good because you can sit in the middle and smoke all the enemies with your 4th ability from the middle of the point. The next one is capture. You've seen that before, I'm not going to go over it. Something that I would note is the weapons. You're going to want to whip out your Opticore if you happen to carry one, or something like a Tigress, just a really hard hitting weapon. That's really good. And also want to mention that in the plains and higher level plains stuff, that you're going to want to bring an Opticore. That's probably a pretty good idea, or the most powerful sniper rifle you have, because they're really good at taking down those big ships, especially the Opticore. So of course that's a very popular weapon, so hopefully you have it. If not, try to get your hands on it. And so the next one, which is the most difficult one and the last one I'm going to go over, because you guys know what rescue is, resource theft. It's like an enhanced defense mission, only because the thing you're defending doesn't have that much health. So doing this without a Frost or Frost Prime is extremely difficult without the snow globe, so I would recommend getting something like a Limbo or a Slova here. Slova actually works extremely well if you can get one in this resource theft one. And so last one is rescue. I'll quickly go over. You just kill the enemies, hack the unit to get the bomb off of the teammate's back, and then escort them over to an area. So pretty simple there. Again, like I said, after hearing all of these, it's pretty obvious why Mesa is very good. She's able to eliminate any amount of enemies that drop from the sky or from a plane or anything like that. She can take down the planes really well as well. So that's why I would recommend her. She's extremely powerful here. So get her if you can. If not, Frost is a pretty solid choice. Any of the CC frames are pretty solid choices, and powerful main hand weapons like Opticores and Snipers are extremely powerful in the planes. And of course this is for higher level bounties, so 4s, 5s, and 3s depending on how powerful. Of course power is relative, but in general these are for the more powerful, more difficult areas and bounties. So this of course is all my opinion. Definitely tell me, please tell me if you found anything better, because I'm still struggling to take down all these ships. These ships have tons and tons of health. So besides the Opticore, if you guys have any other suggestions with taking down very difficult enemies or helping out in the planes in general, make sure to leave them down in the comments. I read all your guys' comments. And speaking of you guys being extremely cool, I also just recently got 100 subscribers, so thanks guys. It's been really fun, really crazy week. I'm really glad that it's been somewhat successful. You know, I like to call it successful, and I'm having a great time. So thanks again guys for being as awesome as you are, and I'll keep it up if you guys keep it up. And thanks again, can't say thanks enough. So see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope it helped you out, and I'll see you guys extremely soon. Thank you. I'm out.